Light as a feather.
Yes.
Oh, that's a beautiful
Okay,
story.
a question from my
our
lovely
audience.
wife, Gail.
Well, you know,
What's the question?
the story about light as a feather?
Oh.
I love to tell this. It's a story about generosity. So please do not start crying. And but anyway, I may start. No, anyway, you know, I was young, you know, in New York playing, and I wrote music, but I didn't have a serious composer like I'm a composer. I did not have that thing. And so I remember me and Chick were playing. It was right before Light as a Feather, and he says, you know, man, I don't know why. That's interesting. I never figured out why. I would like to hear that. But he says, man, you need to write something for the record. I said, get out of here, man. You're gonna write, compose? No, that's you. You do that. I play the bass, you know. So he says, no, man, do it. And he just kept at it, but in a nice way. And then he made a deal with me. He says, listen, if you write a tune for the album, I will name the album after your tune. I said, get out of here. Are you crazy? You know? And he says, nah, we're serious, you know? And Chick looked really genuine in what he was saying, you know? And so I wrote this tune. It was the tune, Light as a Feather. And I wrote the tune, and the album was called Light as a Feather. It was the reason why I say it's a cool thing, a very generous thing, because I think at that point, were you 29 and I was 19? Yeah, you were late
Something
20s.
like that.
Yeah. And this is kind of a word for band leaders. You know, when you have young people in your band, you know, encourage the guys to do all the things that will eventually turn them into good leaders. Because, you know, in my opinion, what makes a really good band is not just, you know, there are bands where you're not aware of the leaders and all that, but there's always some guy there. There's always a person there that's like, okay, let's get this together. You know, he may be behind the scenes or not, but it was a very cool thing, very generous thing for you know, because he could have said, yeah, get out of here, you know, like some other guys. But he's a very generous guy. And that's a great story. I love telling that story. Now, why did you hear something I composed, or did you like what? You just what?
No, it's because as we were playing, you know, we had a lot of concerts on that first album.
Yeah.
We played that first repertoire quite a bit. We traveled around Europe. We went to Japan. We were all over the United States. We played that music a lot, and you were playing bass solos on a lot of the songs. And I just noticed that you constructed your bass solos very melodically, especially at the beginning of the bass solo.
Yeah.
And you had a sense of organization about how you made your solo. And to me, that was already composing. And so if you weren't writing it down, then it was obvious next step to write it down.
Sure.
Plus the fact that I wanted to kind of expand the directional viewpoint of the band by having
sure.
input from the players. And you were my major partner in Return to Forever. We were the first. You were the first one I found to play my music.
Sure,
I said, Stanley,
exactly.
come on, play my music. Then
Yeah.
we found Airto. Then we found Flora. So my intention was to expand the music, but also I knew that you'd be able to come up with something.
Yeah, that's cool.
And that was pretty cool first tune, Light as a Feather.
Yeah, Light as a Feather. That's a cool.
Let's play
thing.
the theme.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's play the theme.
Wow.